All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're breaking down some absolutely timeless principles for anyone who's serious about leveling up their career. We're talking about that huge career-defining leap. You know the one. The jump from being amazing at doing the work to actually leading the work. And from being just another vendor to someone your clients truly can't live without. I love this quote because it just cuts right to the chase. In a world that is choked with buzzwords and needlessly complex strategies, we're going to cut through all of that noise. This is your playbook. Simple, direct, and effective, whether you're trying to inspire a team or close your next big deal. And this right here, this is the heart of the matter. It's the fundamental mindset shift that trips so many people up. And it's a crazy idea, right? That the very skills that made you a rock star, the very things that got you promoted, could actually be what's holding you back now. Okay, so first up, let's talk about the expert's biggest mistake. This is a trap that so many high achievers fall into again and again. And what's wild is that it's an instinct that feels so completely right in the moment, but it is so wrong. Let me ask you something, and be honest. Are you that person, the one staying late to fix things, the one working weekends, because deep down you're thinking, if you want it done right, you just have to do it yourself? Well, that's a classic sign of the doer mindset. Your personal effort, which was once your greatest superpower, is now your single biggest bottleneck. So let's just break this down. Over on one side, you've got the doer. They're hanging on tight, focused on their own tasks, their own output. But the leader? Oh, the leader is playing a totally different game. They get that their job isn't about their personal output anymore. It's about multiplying the team's output. That means trusting, training, and delegating. It's a complete shift from being task-oriented to being people-oriented. Now, this flawed do-it-yourself instinct, it has an evil twin in the sales world, and that's the over-reliance on price. You know the feeling. Things get a little tough, a deal gets sticky, and what's our first knee-jerk reaction? We reach for that discount button. But it's just a short-term fix that can cause devastating long-term problems. And here's the brutal math to prove it. Just look at this. On a healthy 40% margin, a simple 10% discount means you have to sell 33% more product just to make the same amount of profit. You give away 20%, you have to literally double your sales. Double! It is a race to the bottom, plain and simple, and it's a race you absolutely cannot win. So if doing it all yourself is a trap and slashing prices is a death spiral, what's the alternative? What do? Well, you need a different tool. You need a powerful, client-focused story that shifts the entire conversation away from price and puts it squarely on value. We call this your power statement. Think of it as your secret weapon. Now, let's be crystal clear. This is not a list of your company's features. It's not a history lesson. It's a story that you tell about your customers' world, their pains, their goals, and the incredible results you deliver for them. This is the foundation for everything. And the best part is, you can build this story in 3 simple parts. First, you lead with their pain points. What keeps them up at night? Second, you briefly position what you do as the perfect solution to that specific pain. And third, you clearly lay out your differentiators, the real, tangible reasons you are the absolute best choice to get them results. It's a simple formula that works every single time. Okay, so you have your story. You're ready. But having a great story isn't enough, right? You have to deliver it effectively. And that comes down to mastering the art of human connection, building trust and genuinely uncovering what people need, whether it's your direct report or your next big customer. The old way is the pitch. It's a monologue. You just show up and throw a bunch of stuff at the wall and hope something sticks. But the masterful approach is a dialogue, and it runs on one simple, vital rule. Discovery always comes before presentation. Your goal isn't to talk, it's to ask a series of great, probing questions that help both of you understand what's really going on. And that kind of dialogue can only happen if there's trust. But here's the thing. Trust isn't some kind of magic. It's built through specific, consistent actions. For example, just genuinely involving people in decisions that affect them, that single act shows so much respect, and it creates the safety that you need to have a real, honest conversation. And just as important as building trust is knowing how easily you can break it with these subtle, unconscious signals. Resting a hand on the phone while someone's talking, glancing down at a piece of paper. These tiny little actions just scream, I'm not really listening, and they can shut down a productive conversation before it even gets started. All right, this is where the rubber meets the road. We're shifting from the what's to the how. We've got the mindset, we've got the tools, but real success comes from turning all this into a consistent, repeatable process you can execute with total confidence every single time. For sales, here is a framework that is absolutely proven to work. You don't just show up to chat. First, you set the agenda and take control. Second, you go into discovery mode, asking those targeted questions. Then, and only then, do you present your solution, perfectly tailored to what you just learned. And finally, you gain a firm commitment on a concrete next step. No ambiguity. So how do you make sure all these important things actually get done? We all know how the day can get hijacked by urgent little fires. That's where time blocking comes in. It's a simple but powerful idea. You schedule appointments with yourself for your most important work, like prospecting or coaching your team, and you treat those appointments as unbreakable. It's how you stop the urgent from crowding out the important. For this last part, let's elevate the conversation. Let's move beyond tactics and processes and get to the very core of your professional identity. Because this is about way more than just what you do. It's about who you are. The ultimate goal, the end game, is to become an authentic leader. And listen, this isn't a technique you can fake. It's about being genuine. It means you don't just talk the talk, you embody the very behaviors you want to see in others. Your actions and your words are perfectly aligned. That consistency is what inspires deep, lasting loyalty. And that brings us to the final crucial point. True, sustainable success isn't about hitting a single target. It's a commitment to continuous improvement, a relentless desire to tinker and get better. It's about always looking for ways to create more value, and most importantly, empowering everyone around you to do the exact same thing. So, as we wrap up, I want to leave you with this one question to carry with you. Whether it's your team, your clients, or your colleagues, they are all watching, and they see what you do far more than they hear what you say. So the question is, what example will you set tomorrow?